Hey Shaki, good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Good morning there.
Okay, we'll start now. We're exactly on time.
Yes.
So now Vaibhav will join until the time I log in into AWS consoles.
Okay.
Any question from yesterday's session in between, Shakil?
Yeah, no, sir. I'm good.
Okay,
Uh, yeah, I was able to understand everything.
okay, great. I'm logging into AWS. Let me quickly share my screen so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, Vaibhav is also in. Hi, Vaibhav. I think it's not connected to audio yet. Okay. Let me log in with my MFA. And this is my MFA. 5832223. 58. Okay, we're in. The instance is in stop state. Let me start it and then I'll connect to it. Still pending. Give it a few more seconds. Okay, it's up and running now. Let's connect to it. I'll use Putty for this. And SSH credentials. Browse my key. Select it and open it. Okay, accepted. So where we end yesterday, we were at the part where we spoke about Docker commands. Let me open my OneNote also quickly. Okay, so now let's see how many containers are up and running at this point of time. It says permission denied. So I'll have to apply sudo. And you see, it says two containers are there. One container is with Ubuntu and another container is with Hello World. It says Ubuntu container is in exited state. It is, and again, as we know, exited state means it's in stopped state. So now, in case, and why did it go into exited state? Because I stopped the virtual machine itself, right? So now since the container lies within the virtual machine, as I stopped the virtual machine, all the containers which were running within this machine are also in stop state, are also inaccessible. No one will be able to access any of the containers which is running within the virtual machine, because like the way I said, this virtual machine is like a, this container is like a parasite. It's like it needs a host. Without host it cannot live, it cannot survive. So now the host for this container is um is virtual machine. Till the time virtual machine lived, till the time virtual machine was up, this container was up. As virtual machine went down, even the container went down. Right? Because that is this will be very important for you to understand. Container cannot survive outside the virtual machine, outside the server. It has to, there has to be a server, and this container can survive only within the server. Now, if the container is in stopped state, then how will you start it? It is very important for you to understand. Now, this is where I'll talk about Docker life cycle. Docker container life cycle I'll speak about. Docker container life cycle. Docker container life cycle, create, and this is absolutely a life cycle. So it is create, then what? Then start, then then stop, or maybe after start you will say connect, and then you will say stop, and then you will say delete. These are the stages in a container lifecycle. You will first create the container, then start the container, then you will connect to the container, then you will stop the container, then you will delete the container. These are the things you will do, because after you're entering into a container, post that you can do anything. You can install some softwares. Yesterday we were able to run the commands, but even in order to run those commands you have to first connect to the container. Without connecting to the container, you will be able to run the commands even though you're not connected to the container. That is very high level, that is very advanced. We'll talk about that. But in general level, what happens is, until unless you connect to the container, you will not be able to execute any commands in the container. So now what happens in this case, as of now, where you are, you see, you are in EC2 user. What is EC2 user? EC2 user is my virtual machine, my EC2 instance. And what is this IP address? This IP address is again my EC2 instance IP address. This is not my container. And what is the status of my container? My container is in stop state. So can I start the container which is in stop state? Now you see there are two kind of containers. One, this hello world, another this Ubuntu. We cannot start this hello world. Why? Because we did not create this hello world container with a flag called IT. Yesterday I was explaining you about this importance of this IT flag. This IT flag, what it does, it provides you one interactive terminal. If you are creating any container with this interactive terminal flag, then only you can start it. Hello world you cannot start, because you did not create hello world container with interactive terminal flag. So you will not be able to start it. So now let's try to start this container. In order to start the container, the command is docker start and give either the container ID or the container name. Like the way I was explaining you yesterday, container ID and container name are very much unique for any container. This cannot be same. For two containers, you cannot give same name, or you cannot have same ID in your virtual machine. So you have to give a container start and give the container ID or container name. In few minutes, I'll show you container name also. And just this is the command. You, while executing docker start, you no need to add any flags like IT or anything. You just have to start it, right? You just want to start it because the status is exited. It is created 23 hours ago, exactly same time, maybe yesterday, and it is exited 23 hours ago because as we stopped after the virtual machine, as I stopped the virtual machine just after the session, it went into stop state. Now let me just start it. Now it says permission denied again. So let me just give a sudo and clear the screen. And now when I hit enter, now you see it gave me the ID back. Now let's see if it is in start state or not. Every time I'm forgetting. Can you see now? This is up. This is up. The status now changed from exited to up. Can I start this also? Like the way I said you that we cannot start it because we did not create it with IT flag. So let me just try starting this also. Let's see what happens. Sudo docker start and give the container ID, hit enter. It gave me this ID back. And now when I hit enter, see, it did not start yet. Right? It did not. Same command I executed for this container. It is in upstate now for last 37 seconds. But this one did not start. Why? Because we did not create it with -IT flag. This is very important for you to understand. Because many times what happens is you try to start the container which is already created, but it doesn't come up. Perhaps it doesn't come up because the DevOps engineer, whoever created that container, did not use all the flags properly. Right? So this will be very much important for you to understand. You will not be able to bring up those containers which are not created with proper flags. Okay, this is one other thing. Now, what this is the next stage of your container life cycle. You created it, you started it. This two part is done, right? This two part is done. You created it and you started. What is the next part? Next part is how to attach, how to connect to this container, right? So now, as of now, you are not in this container. It is up.
Sir, so the other container with the IT flag, we cannot start. So what's going to happen then?
Sorry, what did you ask? Can you ask again?
The other container, Ubuntu? No, not the one container which one we cannot start with the IT flag?
Again, rephrase your
Which
question.
which container you said we cannot start the container that we created with the IT flag?
No, we can start all the containers which
Okay.
we created with IT flag. We cannot start those containers which we did not create with IT flag.
Oh, okay. The other way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like hello world, when we created, we did not use IT flag. But while creating a container with Ubuntu image, we used IT flag, right? So we can start only those containers which we created with IT flag, and we cannot start the container which we did not create with IT flag.
So that remains shut down.
Forever. Yes. If it's down, it's down.
So what's the use then, sir?
It's just for demo. There is no use. You will never
Oh,
create any container.
okay. Okay.
It's just to let you know that if you create any container without IT flag, it's of no use for you. It's a error.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So now you do have this container up and it is up for last 3 minutes now. Now your second stage is done. Your second stage is done. Now the third stage is connect. How will you connect to it? Where you are at this point? At this point, you are still in virtual machine, EC2 user, and this is the IP address of my EC2 instance, right? Now, in order to connect, in order to attach to this EC2 instance, sorry, this container, what you have to do, you have to execute some other command. And in order to connect to this container, the command is docker attach and give the container ID or container name. Anything you can give. Docker attach container ID and or container name. Anything you can give. And now you see the change. What is this? I'm in virtual machine now. This is the IP address of my virtual machine. Now I hit enter. Oh, every time I'm forgetting. Um, sudo. Okay, still I'm in my virtual machine. Still, this is my virtual machine IP address. Now I'm executing this command, and as I execute this command, can you see things changed now? EC2 user became root, and the IP address is changed into container ID. See, this is the container ID which I use to execute this command, right? Exactly same it is. Exactly same container ID it is, right? So now the container ID which I use to connect is has replaced the IP address of my EC2 instance, and root has replaced the EC2 user, which is the username of my EC2 instance, right? So this is the way you will be able to connect to your container. Now within the container you can do anything, like the way we demonstrated yesterday. Within the container I am able to run some apt commands. However, my EC2 instance is not going to take apt command within it, right? So this is the third stage, connect. You have connected to your EC2 container. Three stages gone in Docker container lifecycle, three stages gone, and this will be a task. You being a DevOps engineer have to do this. You have to create the container. Container could be in stop state. You have to start the container. That will be your responsibility. You have to connect to the container. After connecting to the container, you have to execute some commands maybe. And after, based on whatever requirement you do have, perhaps you have to install Java, perhaps you have to configure Jenkins within the container, and you have to execute all the Jenkins command which we have executed earlier. These all Jenkins command which we have which where did we yeah these all Jenkins command which we executed earlier. You have to execute all the Jenkins command maybe within the container, and after you have done this, you have to use it. But after you have used it, what you have to do is you have to come out of this, because every time you cannot stay in the same container, because you can have more than one containers in this virtual machine. There might be the need wherein you have to come out of this container and you have to just start working on another container. How will you come out for this? So in order to come out of the container, there is a shortcut key. There is a shortcut key to to come out or log out from container. You have logged it into the container. You are within the container now. Now you have to come out of the container. In order to come out of the container, there is a shortcut key. What is the shortcut key? Control CTRL plus P plus Q. You have to press all the three keys together. CTRL plus P plus Q. I'm doing that only. Pressed Control P Q. See, I came out. So you have to press all the three keys, Control, P and Q. That's what I've done. Press Control, P and Q. See, I'll attach again. I'm within the container. I'm pressing Control, P, Q. Came out of the container. Can you see? I came out of the container. I'll attach again and I'll come out again. Control, P, Q. You see, I'm out. So this is the shortcut key to come out of the container. You cannot press any exit command and come out of the container, because that will take your container in stop state. Normally what happens when you create the container, your real-time application runs within the container. Your application which is in production environment, which is hosted for customer use, is running, is present there in the container. You cannot afford taking it down, because if the container goes down, then all the application which customers are using goes blank. Customer won't get anything and it will impact the organization's business a lot. So you will definitely not be able to, right? You will definitely you will definitely not be able to execute exit command. But now what happens? You just came out with the shortcut key. You see what happens now? Still the container is in upstate, right? Still the container is in upstate. Now what is your job? What is the next stage? Next stage is to stop the container. In order to stop the container, what I'll do, I'll execute the command docker stop and give the container ID and hit enter As you hit enter, what is going to happen is, as you hit enter, what is going to happen is, it's taking some time because it is taking your container down. It is stopping your container, and yes, it has stopped your container. Now, you see, your container is in stop state now. Again, this is the fourth stage of your container life cycle. This is the fourth stage of your container life cycle. You have created, you have started, you have connected, and you have stopped the container this time, right? You have
So when
stopped
do
the
we stop when do we stop the container?
uh, normally what happens is, say your say your application, say your business, every business, when any business runs, every business incurs certain cost, some revenue, or I mean, when I say cost to the company, not the company which the cost which company generates, but the cost which company pays in order to maintain this infrastructure. For these containers to remain up, it incurs certain cost. It is still costing to us. We are using it, right? We are still using for demo purpose, but since we are in free tier, if we are not in free tier, then we will be paying to AWS for this. It is costing to us also. Think about this. We are just using for demo purpose one container. Companies will be using it in huge count, maybe thousands of containers they are running. How much they will be paying for that? Now, if customers are not using it, if if the consumers are not using it, maybe some product which consumers do not use in weekends, especially think about anything which customers do not use in weekends, maybe any of the official login server for which companies are paying a lot to Azure or AWS just to maintain a login server. But companies do not operate in weekends. So companies do not have any logins on the login server by any of their employees in weekends. So what they want to do, they want to shut down those applications which are not in use in weekends. So what they will do, every Friday evening at 5 p.m., once all the employees logs off, what they will do, they will they will shut down or they will stop these kind of containers which is used to maintain login server. I'm not sure how it happens in Western countries, but I've seen in many of the Indian companies what happens after 6 p.m., those companies which does not operate after 6 p.m. or which does not operate in 24 cross 7 life working cycle, what they do is after 6 p.m. they shut down AC. After 6 p.m. they shut down lights. Why they do that? Whatever the cost this AC cooling will incur, whatever the cost which lights will incur, they want to save that. Same thing happens with these kind of containers also. Some of the applications like login server application, maybe Outlook messaging servers, you don't send emails, official emails in weekends, right? But in order to maintain these messaging servers, companies has to pay some amount to respective vendors. What they will do, they shut down these messaging servers in weekends and they save that cost. So what they do, they stop the containers which is hosting those applications and they again bring it up on Monday morning by 8:30 a.m. maybe before any of the employees log in. So this is the use case where we can apply stop and start.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
Okay.
So email servers and login servers
Yeah.
are actually maintained in containers.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, they are
Okay.
maintained. Yes. Nowadays, everything, whatever you are using, is in container. Whatever, nothing is there in physical server. And I can guarantee you with that. Whatever applications you are using Android application, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever you are using, everything is in container.
Okay.
Okay. So
Uh,
now,
Sir,
mhm,
so you run the other command to enter into the root mode. I mean, in that specific container. But even if you run the same command, sudo docker run it ubuntu, this command also, I mean, after
will
executing this
directly.
command, it goes to the root. I mean, in the
Yes.
docker mode only, right?
Yes, yes. Directly into the Docker container. Yes. So when you execute this command, it will create the container, it will start the container, it will connect to the container. All the three steps it will do at once in one single command. But whenever you are running this command, it is creating a new container. Every time when you are running this
Ah,
command, it will
okay.
create. Let me just run it again for you.
I mean, I create, that's why it's showing two instances in my
Yeah,
container.
I will show you. As of now, I do have only one Ubuntu. You see,
Yeah,
now but
yeah.
you see, names will be different and
Yeah,
ID will
yeah,
be
right.
different.
ID and name is different, unique.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you see, I will run this command again. What happened? Oh, capital. Okay. Now you see, I'm within the container and
Mm.
within the container, but now I'm coming out of the container. Control PQ came out of the container. Now if I execute the command docker ps-a, every time I'm forgetting. Now you see, I do
Yeah,
have two instances of Ubuntu.
yeah,
One is with Wonderful Haman and another is with Serene Hawkins. And even
yeah,
the container ID is different. Every time when you are running that command, it will create another container for you. But you don't want to do that, right? I mean, why do you
yeah,
want to
right.
create? So already one container is present. If you want to start it, execute the command to start it. If you want to stop it, execute the command to stop it. Yeah, you can do that. So this is the way you will work on it. Now, how to delete a container? Last stage of the container. How to delete a container? In order to delete the container, the command is sudo docker rm and delete the container. Now there is a catch. There is a catch. I can easily delete a container which is in stopped state. For example, I'll try to delete this hello world container first. This container is in stop state, right? I'll try to delete this hello world container. This is gone. Without any problem, without any error, it is gone. I have deleted it. Let me try to delete this Ubuntu container, which is in stop state also. So don't think that we created that without IT flag. That is the reason we are able to easily delete it. No, any container which is in stop state, we can delete it easily. No problem. So now let me just try to delete this container, which is created with IT flag and gone. Such a smooth deletion. Such a smooth deletion. Now let me try to delete a container which is up and running. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Now I have this container up and running, right? I have this container up and running. Now let me try to delete this container. Let's see what happens. Docker rm this with a sudo. What it says, you cannot delete a container which is in upstate, right? You cannot delete a container which is in upstate such smoothly, right? You cannot delete a container such smoothly which is in upstate. You have to either forcefully delete it. You have to either forcefully delete it or first stop it and then delete it, right? First stop it and then delete it. So I'll show you both the ways how to forcefully delete it. And anyways, you have seen how to stop and delete it, right? You can just hit docker stop command. It will go into exited state and you will be able to delete it. But now I'll show you how to forcefully delete it. What it says, stop the container before removing or force remove it. Forcefully delete it. So you already know how to stop and delete. This time I will show you how to forcefully delete it. In order to forcefully delete it, what you have to do, you have to execute the command docker rm and give the container ID again, but this time use a force command hyphen f. F stands for force in this case. Forcefully, I want to delete this container, hit enter, and it's gone. This time it did not throw me any error, and I don't have any containers running at this point, right? I don't have any containers running at this point. So these are the different stages in container lifecycle: create, start, connect, stop, and delete. I'll give a quick pause. Any question till you ask me, please. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
take that as a
good.
cool. Okay, so now this is a way you will be able to work with it. You will be able to work with different types of containers. right? This is the way you will be able to work with different types of containers. Now let's pull some more images. Let's pull some more images, Docker images. I'll repeat quite the same thing which we did yesterday, just a kind of review. This time I will pull some different kind of image, maybe CentOS image. Yesterday I said you, right? Ubuntu and Debian, they're of same family, they're of same group. CentOS, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Fedora, Amazon Linux, they're of same family, they're of same group, right? So this time I will pull the image which is which is of CentOS type. Again, you have to go to Docker Hub, look for the image, look for the command, and execute this. Since I know the command, I'll execute it directly. But for you, the suggested method will be go to Docker Hub, look for this image. For you, suggested method will be go to Docker Hub, right? Go to Docker Hub, sign in first, right? Sign in first, and then look for the image, maybe CentOS image, and and what happened? CentOS. Okay. Now you see the first option, CentOS Docker official image. Go to this and CentOS. You can go to the. There is no latest for CentOS. There is no latest. CentOS 7.9. This is the current version of 8.4 is the current version for CentOS. So now you can just copy this. You see, copy this and paste it here. Paste it here. I just copied things from there and I'm pasting it. Nothing other than that. What is this? Now just understand this command. You already know this command. Docker pull CentOS is the name of the image. And what is this? This is the version of the image. This is the version 7.9 2009. This is the version which I want to download. Say in case if I want some other version, maybe there will be multiple versions, I believe. Uh, 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 yeah, say 8.4, then this will differ again. Now if I copy it and if I come here and if I replace this with this, can you see this? The version changed. Now this is 8.4, which is 2105.84. Don't know what is this 2105. It should be 2025 maybe. Um, okay, so this is another version of CentOS. Now hit enter. Hit enter. It's pulling. It's pulling. How it's pulling? It went to internet and it is trying to download everything from internet and it gave me this. Now if I execute the
So, sir,
command
this
of
file, the CentOS file that we just pulled or downloaded into EC2.
Mhm.
So this file is in EC2.
um, you are asking if this is
Yeah.
within EC2
Yeah.
or elsewhere.
Yeah. What's the location of the file that we pulled it into?
We are in EC2. You see, we are in
Yeah.
instance. This black screen is instance.
Okay.
You see where I am, where I executed this. It's EC2 user IP address. So this
Yeah.
is EC2.
So this file will be kept in EC2. Any particular location or
No location. It can
okay.
be it can be anywhere. So Docker
Okay.
is not a location constraint application. It
Okay.
can be anywhere. Okay. So now you see I just pulled in CentOS image this time. You see the size of CentOS image much bigger than Ubuntu, right? Much bigger than Ubuntu. This is created 4 years ago. This image is created 4 years ago. I have pulled in now. but it is created by Docker team 4 years ago. Now I have to create an image. I have to create a container out of it. Now to create a container out of it, what I'll do, I'll execute the command docker run -it and give the name of the image and hit enter. Okay, and hit enter. What happened? What happened now? You see, this is another thing which I wanted to demonstrate you. Previously, what you have done, you have executed the command docker run. Can you see now what happened? I am unable to create the container. What it says, unable to find image CentOS locally. Docker error response from daemon, and I'm still into EC2 instance. I'm not within the container. Because you understood, right? If I'm within the container, then this EC2 user should change to something else. This IP address should change to something else.
Root. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not within. Still, but I have executed the right command. The command is not wrong. Command is right. And also it says that unable to find. Why it says unable to find? I have CentOS. Why will it? It did not give me similar message when I executed with Ubuntu. Why is it giving me this? Because when I executed this command, and this is very important for you to understand, because if you do not understand this, you will end up executing wrong command, which will never work, and you will keep confused. You will stay confused on what happened. Why it did not work? So the command which I executed before, yeah, you see, same command. This is the command which I had executed before, right? Let me execute it again. It worked. It worked. But for CentOS, same, anything different I did in CentOS? No, same line to line. Just I changed Ubuntu to because I had CentOS. That is the reason I wrote CentOS here. But it did not work here. Why? Because see, Ubuntu tag is latest. If we do not provide any tag, it takes the value as latest. By default, if you do not put anything after the name of the image, it takes tag as latest. What do you mean by tag as latest? Latest means the latest version of that image. You're not specifying any specific version. Rather, you're saying whatever it's latest there in the market, you do that. For example, you go to any kind of shop and you purchase something. You purchase some sort of earphone. Maybe you purchase some sort of earbud maybe. So your shopkeeper will ask, hey, which one you want? What you will say? You will say, which is the most trending, which is the most latest in market? Give me that. Right? This is one of the way to say to shopkeeper, if you don't know which brand or which company you want to purchase, what you will say, which is the most trending, which is the most latest, give me that. So by default, that trending, or by default that latest is the latest version of whatever application, the best version of application which shopkeepers understands. Similar to that, here if you do not provide anything, then by default it takes tag as latest. But in case of CentOS, it is not true. We don't have any tag as latest in case of CentOS. We have tag as CentOS 8.4.2015. This time what you have said that, hey, give me a earbud of maybe Sony, and the brand is something, maybe A121, some value you said. So what you have said to shopkeeper, give me Sony A121 A121 model of earbud. What shopkeeper will do? He will look for Sony one A121 brand of earbud, and he will give it to you. Some value you are given. You did not say latest. You did not say trending. You did not say whatever it's in the whatever is there in the current market, give it to me. You said that give me this model. Give me this model of Sony. Similar to that, what we are doing in this case is For CentOS, it's not latest. This is the model. This is the version which I want to run. For this, you have to execute some different type of command. You have to put a colon and you have to give the tag here. And then you hit enter. And now you see, you created it. This time it did not give you any error. This time it said you, okay, I'm in root. Quite the same way, you are within the container. Now this is a CentOS. I said you this is CentOS. Here apt is not going to work because CentOS and CentOS and Red Hat Enterprise Linux are of same family. CentOS and Amazon Linux is of same family. Here yum will work, right? Here yum will work. Here apt will not work. Now again, I'll come out of it. Now you know everything. You know how to create different types of containers. You know how to, what are the different kind of errors you may get while creating the container. You know everything about creation of the container. You should not have any problem in at least creating the container at this point of time. Okay, you should not have any problem there, right? This is all
Yes.
good, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, cool. Now what I'll do is,
So, sir,
I'll
the
show you.
tag is assigned automatically when you pull the file, right? Because we
No,
didn't mention the latest and everything and all that manually.
no,
It just
but
pulled the tag from the Docker Hub.
yeah, till the time it was latest, we did not mention. But when
Yeah.
we wanted to have some specific version of CentOS, say 8.4.2.2105, then we mentioned the label also while pulling it. You see, this is the command which I had executed to
Yeah,
pull
no, I
it.
was talking about the list of the containers that were the list of the images that we pulled. The
The previous one, sir. I mean,
Ubuntu and
the
Eclipse.
hello world or
the three
the
different
one.
yeah the three different containers or images that you pulled.
Uh-huh.
It shows tags against each
Latest.
image.
Uh-huh.
Shows latest. So latest is the tag is attached automatically. We didn't do anything. Sudo docker ps, what is it?
Images.
Images. Yeah, this one.
Hmm.
So the tag shows latest.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We didn't mention anything. This is done automatically.
Yeah, latest. If we don't mention, latest.
Okay.
If we mention, then it will be some specific one.
Okay. All right.
So,
Right.
sir,
Uh-huh.
while running that image, we only mentioned the repository name, right? We didn't mention any specific version. That's why it is taking tag as a latest.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I will show you how to give a proper name to your container. Now, as of now, what it's taking any name. It's associating any name to your container, which is not right, because in real time, you will recognize your container with its name itself. You will recognize your container with its name itself in real time. Because in real time, what happens is you, there are plenty of containers in real time. Many containers will be there in real time. Some of the small companies also will have more than 50 containers running at any point of time in real time. If in that situation, you have to recognize your container with its name, because the name will say for what purpose that container is running. Now, if I'll ask you, if I create 10 containers of similar type, in one container I'll install Jenkins, in another container I'll install some other software, in another container I'll install another software, and I'll give some weird names, some machine generated names. And after creating 2 days later, if I'll ask you, forget about 2 days later, 2 minutes later, if I'll ask you, can you tell me which container I have used to install what? It will be very tough for you to say, right? Because it is having some name which you don't remember even, some ID which you can't remember even. So it's very tough many times. So what we do in real time is We give the name to the container based on its usage, based on for what purpose we have created it. So now in order to give a name to the container, what we do, we execute some other type of commands so that we basically give a name to it. We basically give a name to it while we create it. So now let's give a name to it. Let's clean it up everything, okay? So Docker sudo docker ps-a. I'll clean both. Now in order to clean, if I try to delete sudo docker rm, delete it, it won't delete. So for that I have to use -f. It has deleted. Now second one, what we'll do, we will delete after stopping it. See, many times we will do so that you understand it very well. Stopping it. Stopping is like gracefully you are stopping it. You are asking it to take its time, stop all the applications which is running within it, then I'll remove it to you. And forceful is like, doesn't matter whatever it's running, I'll delete you. Okay, now it's in stop state. Now I'll delete it. Sudo docker rm and this time I'll use the name, not the ID. This time I'll use the name and gone. Docker ps-a. Okay, everything is clean. Now what I'll do, I'll use some specific name while I'm creating it. I'll use some specific name to it. Now let's use some specific name. In order to use some specific name, what I'll do, I'll say sudo docker run hyphen name. I will use this time. Hyphen name I'll use this time and give some names. Name. Maybe maybe name as, maybe give some name. Maybe for example, I want to create it for Jenkins, right? I want to create a container where I want to configure Jenkins. Very simple. And I'll use -it flag and give the name as Ubuntu. I think it's double hyphen. Docker run hyphen name. Jenkins is the name which I want to assign to container. -it and give the name of the image. IT stands for IT stands for um, IT stands for interactive terminal, right? IT stands for interactive terminal. Now you hit enter. Okay. Now I'll come out of this. I can do everything. Now if I want to install, I'll say, okay, fine, install Jenkins with all given commands. All the commands which I do have, I'll use all those commands to install Jenkins here. After consider that I have executed all the commands which we learned in our earlier sessions to install Jenkins, and I've installed Jenkins here. After that, what I'll do, I'll come out of this. Right? Because I cannot stay here for all the time. Perhaps I have to do some other work in other containers. I'll come out of this. Came out of this. Now you see, I came out of
Sir, I
this.
didn't understand this last install Jenkins with all given commands.
This is just some sentence. So what I
Oh,
meant to
okay.
say is within the container, I want to install Jenkins with all given commands. I mean, all the previously we have those commands, right? Which we use to install Jenkins, which we learned in our previous sessions. Right? So what I meant to say here is with all the commands which we learned in our previous sessions, install Jenkins in this container. These are the tasks which I assign it to you, which I gave you as a TL. But hey, in this container, install Jenkins. You have installed Jenkins. After you are done, you will say, hey, I'm done with my task. Now I'm coming out of the container. That's it. That is what that
No, sir.
sentence.
Is this a command or what?
No, this is just English. This is not command.
Just a description. Okay.
Just a description.
Okay.
Okay. So now, if I execute docker ps-a, now can you see what the name you gave? It is taking the name which you gave, right? It is taking the name which you gave. Now, can you remember this after 4 days also? After 4 days also, if you come back and if I ask you, hey, what is the purpose? What was the purpose of this container? Then you can easily say, hey, this container was created. This container is having the name Jenkins. Certainly, I have installed Jenkins in this container. So this container is meant for Jenkins installation. You are getting my point, right? Why name is important?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is a very important use case for which naming is important. You can have plenty of containers of this kind. You just associate a proper name, some meaningful name, and the container so that you can remember it for very long, very long time, right? Very long time. Now, this is very important thing which you need to know about the container, naming the container, and starting the container, stopping the container, attaching the container, various things which you want to do, you can do that. Now, one more thing I
Sir,
want to,
what's the average number of containers in an average organization?
even a small company will have more than 50 containers.
Okay.
Even a small company. Big companies, there's no limit, but even a small company will have almost 50 containers running. Okay. So now what we want to know is what we want to do is we want to do now we are clear with this how to create the container, how to work with the container. Now let's go a bit more advanced, right? Now let's go a bit more advanced. Now there are two kind of images. There are two kind of images basically. One images is there are two types of images. One is types of images. Types of images. First one is OS based image. OS based image. And second is application based image. Let's understand this. All the images which we have seen till now, Ubuntu, CentOS, maybe Fedora, maybe Debian, these all are operating system based images. These images, once you create, will give you a machine which will behave like, okay, fine, I'm Ubuntu machine, a kind of scratch pad, a kind of machine where you want you whatever you wish to do, you do. It doesn't have any pre-installed applications in it, right? It doesn't have any applications pre-installed in it. But there are certain images which is having already certain application installed in it. And those applications could be anything. Those could be database related application. Those could be web related application. Those could be any applications which you can think about. Right? For example, there could be two laptops. One laptop is absolutely empty. It doesn't have any software installed in it. You went, you purchased it from you purchased it uh, from any of the vendor, and it has just the operating system installed, Windows operating system installed. It doesn't have any application installed, no notepad, no OneNote which is open at this point, no Chrome, no Edge browser, no application is installed, no putty, no application is installed in it. Now, what you have done, you have bought that laptop in a cheaper price because it has it has it has no application installed. You bought it in a cheaper price. Now, what you have done, after you brought it, you already had those application software present with you. You started installing each applications one after the other, and you have built built a laptop which is having applications installed in it, and then you sold it to someone else with a higher price, right? And then you sold it in a higher price. So what are the two kind of laptops you are noticing here? One laptop which doesn't have any application installed, which could be of smaller size or which is having of very less configuration, but the another one is having lots of application installed it, to which I'll say as the the lots of a kind of highly computerized or highly sophisticated laptop, which you have made it after installing so many applications. Then you sold it at a higher price. Similar to that, images are also of two kinds. One which is having just operating system software installed in it and nothing, no application installed in it. And second, which can have some application installed in it. Those application could be like web-based application, database application, any application installed in it. That kind of image where applications are pre-installed. You no need to install it after you launch a container. You no need to install it. Pre-installed applications are there. For example, there will be one Jenkins image also. For example, if I have to show you, there will be one image which is with the name Jenkins also. So now you search for this. You see, there is an image which is having already Jenkins installed. So then what is the name of that image? Jenkins/Jenkins. It is having, this is a fully functional Jenkins server based on the weekly and LTS releases. So this image will have Jenkins pre-installed in it. You just have to pull that image and start work. We'll see this. We'll use this kind of image in our demo also. Okay, so what are the application type images? Application type images are those images which is having applications pre-installed in it. You understood the difference in between these two images, OS based image and application based image? Any doubt here?
So, sir, on the second one, application based, we have the image on the container. No, sir. I'm confused with the second type.
No. What did you ask? What is your question?
We're talking about types of images.
Yes. But
One
what is your
is
question?
one is OS based. That only the OS is installed.
Yes.
Where is OS installed?
In the machine, you have created one EC2 instance. You have created one EC2 instance. In the EC2 instance, OS is installed. Similarly, when you created a container, you saw that Ubuntu was pre-installed in that. CentOS was pre-installed in that. We executed a couple of commands, cat etc os release, apt yum. How did that command work? That command worked because OS was pre-configured in that. You got that, right?
No.
See, these are very basics. You have to do that. I don't know if you have done that or not, but these are very, very super basics. See, simply operating system. You created one image and you executed command there. If the command is working, then then OS is installed. You know about Windows operating system, right, Shakil?
Yes, of course.
When you turn on, you see that Windows icons or Windows desktop. How you see that? Because Windows OS is installed, is configured, is set up in your laptop. That is the reason you are able to see that, right?
Yes.
If it's not there, then you won't be able to see that. This is super, super basic. Similar to
Yes.
that, if I'm able to execute some command in the image, in the container, that basically means OS is installed.
Yes.
Yeah, you're getting that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now what I'm saying is there are two kind of images. One which will have only OS installed, no application installed. And second kind of image will be where we'll have application. So If application, for any applications to install, you must have OS to be present there. Without OS, your laptop is nothing. It's a kind of just a kind of crap box. Without OS, your laptop is nothing. Your computer is nothing. It's just a
Right.
box. It doesn't have any life in it. Even though you plug in into your electric board, it's not having any life. Operating system gives life to your laptop. So for any application to be installed in your laptop, you must have operating system present there first. So
Yeah.
application based image will definitely have OS. On top of OS, you'll have some other applications also installed in it.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you. I
Got it,
got it.
right? Yeah.
Yes. Good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Maybe so for us it's like we are not working on the command line OS mostly. Okay, so that's the reason. But in a simplest way, Shakil, like you can consider before the Microsoft 95 or the 2000 image, there was my MS-DOS, which was not a graphical. So, like where the developers are using command line operating systems, which we are not familiar, the network guys. But yeah, here this kind of image like Ubuntu and CentOS, they are a bit different. The Microsoft operating system.
No, go even in the basic level. Command line
Mm.
is much far. I'm not even talking about command line.
Yeah,
I'm talking about operating system. I'm
yeah,
talking about applications which is installed in your laptop. We are
yeah,
using laptop for ages now.
yeah.
So now for laptop to work, you have to have operating system present in it. Without
Right.
operating system, it's nothing.
Nothing.
So the
Yeah.
machine, any of the machine which you use must have laptop to begin with. If OS is present, then and only then you will be able to install applications. Without that, you will not be able to. Simple. Keep it very simple.
Yeah.
Go from basics. You will be able to remember it for long. Okay.
Right.
So now application based image are those images which has application pre-installed. It doesn't mean that OS is not present. OS has to be there. Without that, it won't work. But you no need to know which OS or which either it's CentOS or it's Ubuntu. You no need to worry about that. What you need to worry about that is which application you want to use. For example, if I want to use Jenkins, I'll just pull Jenkins image. I don't care if Jenkins is installed in Amazon Linux or it's installed um, in Ubuntu image or Ubuntu containers or CentOS container or Fedora or Debian. I don't care. I want to use Jenkins. That's it. You are getting my point. What I'm trying to say here is right.
Yes, sir. For me, it's clear now.
Cool, cool. Okay,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
cool, cool. So now it's already 11:02. Let's stop today here only. Tomorrow we'll talk more about application based images, right? We'll try to install more and more application. We'll try to pull more and more type of application images, and we will see how application images are helpful to us. Sounds good?
Yeah. So far we have only discussed OS
Operating
based.
OS based images.
Okay.
This type. So tomorrow we'll touch on this.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Thanks, F. Thanks. And let's
Thank you,
connect
sir.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you.